Action! Look, no hands! Wild Hogs! Come out, wherever you are! Bring it! And action!
Growing up, I financed my entire college education by buying and selling Harleys. That put me through undergraduate and film school. The second I read Wild Hogs and learned it was about motorcycles, it was a story that was truthfully close to home.
He's a motorcycle guy, he knows the lingo, and we're having a grand time with him.
Walt Becker was so genuine in his desire to make this movie a great one, and I think he always had a vision. He was really coming up with the goods.
Well, he's up to his neck in egos, I'll tell you that.
Did you get your face on camera? You never looked at him before.
The most challenging aspect of making this film would probably have to be just knowing that you've got, 7 or 8 fantastic, wonderful actors and giving everybody their time in the sun.
Wild Hogs, baby! Wild Hogs!
To get the most out of an actor, especially in a comedy, in my mind, is to create a space that they feel like they can do no wrong. And your job is to push them as far as you think possible, because you can always rein comedy back.
Walt's a Zen master. What I love about Walt is he's real open to suggestions. He always wants the scene to get better, our characters to get better.
I noticed very early on when Martin decided to go big on something, any joke, any line, it was always funnier. And so for me, it was all about just making sure Martin felt okay about, giving us Martin.
I said, I'm hungry, baby! One more just like that? Oh my God, Martin, you gotta do the same thing.
Anytime you got an opportunity to get somebody all dirty, just by squeezing ketchup and mustard all over them or whatever, that's like fun.
AMC, we're having hot dogs for lunch.
And beer!
Just dealing with the ambitiousness of the project and hundreds of motorcycles and 6 really big, talented actors. Truthfully, it's been a joy.
And cut! Yeah. That was great!
One of the first things we started out on Wild Hogs was to try and train the actors to be able to ride on camera together as a team. We had 4 guys that have to ride in a pack close together and all behind a camera car and another camera moving around them, so it was pretty tough.
I almost lost it back there. I didn't know what was going on.
I gotta work on the fist tapping thing.
No, you gotta work on the bike riding thing.
I'm glad, that I was able to train on the bikes before I started riding because, I wasn't very good with motorcycles anyway. So.
He said he wanted to come out to the house and learn to ride from square one. We watched Martin because he was a guy that didn't really want to be on it. It scared him.
Because Martin's really not comfortable on that bike. But he looks so cool. I said, how do you do that? Be terrified and look cool.
We started Martin out on a little bitty 80cc Yamaha that had no clutch on it and just a throttle and a brake. Martin spent about 3 to 4 days here on my property just driving up and down the dirt roads and getting used to the area.
Just go different places, get out there on the street. It didn't make me as nervous as when it came time to really actually riding the bikes.
The good thing about an 80cc motorcycle is that you can spill on it and it's not going to really hurt you. You can drop it right and left and get right back up and get right back on it. But on a Harley, if you drop it, it's going to break your leg.
I have no problem throwing my helmet on and getting on the bike. I ain't trying to impress nobody.
But by the end of the movie, he was riding in and out and having no problem at all.
Oh, Wild Hogs, let's go!
When I first contacted John Travolta about the movie and asked him about his riding ability, one of the first things he said was, I ride, infrequently. I ride a little bit, I know how to get from A to B.
I didn't have to do a lot of training on it because that was my first vehicle and my first experience on wheels was a motorcycle.
He said, when we get to Santa Fe, way before we start shooting, I want to get with the pack and start going through the ground rules of riding around other people.
I had a ball driving the motorcycle in the movie, and I just look forward to experiencing a motorcycle again.
John picked it up pretty quickly. I mean, I could tell that he had ridden before. John was a guy that had the ability to start with, so I wasn't too worried about John.
Does this sound better?
Bill Macy and his motorcycle experience stemmed from riding a Vespa in college. It was about all he'd really done.
So I had to take lessons with our stunt coordinator, Jack Gill, because these are big-ass Harleys.
I wanted to try and get Bill Macy's ability up to where he could ride a Harley fairly quickly. His character rides a Harley 1200 Sportster, which is one of the lighter Harleys.
I'm on a Sportster. The Sportster is known as a chick bike, although I'm on a 1200cc Sportster, so if it's a chick bike, I don't want to meet the chick.
Hello? Oh!
His character tends to drop this motorcycle throughout the film. To get an actor to ride erratic, he's got to look out of control without really being out of control.
Some of the big ones, man, when they start to tip over, they're going. I don't care who you are. Arnold Schwarzenegger's not going to set this thing up.
We started him out slow. We rode him around here, but he picked it up very quickly. After that, he was hooked. I mean, he was up here almost every day riding with me.
It's only people that have ridden who are motorcycle people that understand it, but there's a feeling of freedom and of lawlessness and living on the edge, which is just irreplaceable.
I've ridden bikes before, but this is the first time I've really had a long time on a fat boy.
We got to Santa Fe, and some of the first riding that we did out of police training grounds. It was a wide open parking lot with a few turns in it.
When you're riding with cops everywhere, it's pretty safe. It seems, hey, God, this will be a great thing.
Well, I said, okay, guys, let's go ahead and crank them up. And the next thing I know is Tim's doing 80 miles an hour up and down the straightaways, just winding this thing out.
I was roaring through town at full speed. 80 miles an hour, no windshield? What the hell was I thinking?
We're trying to ride 4 guys in a pack, 2 in front, 2 in back. But the 2 in front are setting the pace, and the 2 in back have to stay fairly close. Well, if the 2 in front even slow down a bit, the 2 in back run into them.
I'm okay. I just hurt my face.
The 2 in front would slam on the brakes, and the 2 in back would run into the back of them. There was always something they were pulling on each other.
The 4 of us is too much fun. The 4 of us on bikes is even more hysterical.
That was amazing. The tape was supposed to break.
I think it sounds like a great idea. As long as we... Tim?
What?
Trying to make a movie.
Yeah!
Because Tim and Martin are both stand-ups, and John and William H. Macy are both great at comedy, we've been ad-libbing and improvising at least a few times every scene.
How about the camera department? Seriously, don't they do a great job? Anybody?
Anytime you see someone take your script and put this layer of frosting on it, it's a great moment because it's like, I didn't write that, you know, it just came alive.
This is going well.
It is. Keep going. Talk.
Easy.
Let's do your line. Let's go. Who's next?
Who's next?
I think we kind of threw out the script on week 1, basically.
Because at the end of the day, the script is only the foundation for these guys to build these characters and this comedy on.
We're working basically with 4 very funny people. Now let's just go there.
Perhaps Opie and I would like to do something else here in Mayberry.
Why I gotta be Opie?
So the actors were competing with the stand-ups and proving to them that they could be equally as clever.
This is poop, so don't eat it.
You're supposed to bury it, not put it in a bag.
Tied a knot in it. The bag, I mean.
Oh, God.
Well, it hasn't been consciously set up that I end up with all the funny lines.
I'm a computer programmer. I don't need my legs.
Fine! I'll break his hands!
Bring the money. Definitely.
And if indeed that is happening, do me a favor and don't mention that to the other guys.
Some of the funniest stuff has actually been off-camera antics that we end up putting on camera.
Hey, did it get dark in here? You know, it's a lot of fun.
The foursome together inspired a natural competition for laughs.
In college, I think the camera's pointing at me. You're off camera. This is when I do it.
So we try to look out for each other and make sure that we compliment each other, you know, so that the audience can feel that.
We've all worked really well together.
Oh, yeah, now.
Oh, okay, that's enough. That's a good lesson.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's enough.
It's just a pocket knife.
What's slapping the bull?
That's just a little game we play to make sure your life is not controlled by fear.
So literally, we're going to slap a bull.
Slapping of the bull was one of my favorite sequences on paper, and it was pretty ambitious. Talking the actors into going in there with a live bull that weighs 2,000 pounds was interesting.
Yeah, a lot of animals I would slap, but chicken. I'd slap a chicken or a goat maybe, but I'm not going to slap a bull.
It was interesting working with animals. They can be unpredictable, but our actors did a fantastic job. They did a lot of their own stunts. They were in the dusty corral for about 4 days straight.
Not a big bull fan.
And we're older guys. We don't look so good running.
I'm just glad we got everybody out in one piece, because the second docile bull that we used was not so docile, it turns out.
For me to act like I was scared of the bull running, I was scared of the bull.
Let's fight. Let's dance, huh?
Let's do it. Enough's enough. Let's kick some Del Taco ass.
Wait. Do either of you guys have a knife or scissors? A nail clipper.
The big finale fight sequence at the end was a lot of fun to choreograph and put together from my standpoint, only because we had all of the main characters confronting all of the Del Fuegos all at once.
I'll take him.
Thank you. Trade back.
I got him.
So we knew the fight scene was going to be at the end of the movie. So I had a full 3 months to play with this thing and figure out how we really wanted it to work. I was rehearsing with the actors and with the stunt guys and all of them together, and we just had a ball with it by the time we got to the end of it.
Go, Sam! Yeah.
I didn't mean to aim there.
And since the fight is such a knockdown, drag-out fight between these 4 actors and the Del Fuego characters, we wanted to try and give it a little flair for each character. And we knew that at that point, Dudley, Bill Macy's character, is completely tied up in duct tape. So his body is completely wrapped up in duct tape, kind of like a mummy. And we incorporated that into the fight and made it kind of feel like we'll do a little comedy routine where this way he can't get his arms up any higher than about this. Once I got the fight worked out, probably 80% of it is all the actors. It's very little stuntmen in it. It's just we rehearsed with the stunt guys to get it right, and then we put the actors in there when we shot it.
Today, we're blowing up the biker bar, and this is after John Travolta's character ends up cutting all the gas lines. So it's a pretty big beat in the film, and we're hoping everything goes well. What they tell me is going to happen, and I hope is going to happen, is flame trails are going to come back over here, all the way back to the gas pumps. The gas pumps are going to ignite.
The entire right side of the bar is going to explode in 75 gallons of gasoline with a propane pusher, which is going to be really, really hot. All the shingles go up in the air, the windows blow toward the stunt guys, the shed blows, motorcycle goes up in the air, 4 55-gallon oil drums are going up in the air.
A pretty big explosion for a comedy, but I figured this was my one shot, and so why not?
With explosions like this, we all know it's going to be hot, so we've got fire gel to protect the backs of their necks and the backs of their arms. That kind of keeps their body cool and keeps you from getting burned.
We added about 10 extra stunt people, so we're letting the pros deal with the close proximity to the explosion.
We're worried about raining debris mostly, more than anything. I mean, you just have no idea what's going to come out of the sky.
Construction crews have totally rebuilt, although you can't tell, this bar. The roof is all balsa, the shingles are different, the 2x4s have pyrocord that are going to get cut. So all the heavy debris, nothing that's going to be blowing out of here is actually structural wood, which is always good on our stunt guys and us.
This is a scenario that we've all done before. And so we know what to expect. It's just a matter of how close can you be to it, because sometimes even 5 feet closer can make a big difference in whether you get burned or not.
Ready and action! Fire! Fire! Come on, get away! Get out of there! Come on!
Look up, guys! Look up! Pay attention.
Don't try this at home.
They went perfectly. I mean, it got a lot hotter than we expected. But the stunt guys all hung in there and they were all jailed down, so I think it's fantastic. It's a great shot. Everybody's safe, nobody's hurt, so we're happy for that.
It was hot enough that Ray, MC, and I were supposed to sit there and improv some dialogue. And we just kind of went, fuck, forget this. Just like, we ran like hell. It was hot.
We were going to have to burn this bar down tomorrow, but it looks like that job is taken care of. So it's 2 for 1. Everything looks great. Nobody got hurt. Feels great. Mission accomplished.
Action!
It was beyond our wildest dreams from a casting perspective to get all these people in the same movie and actors that you might normally not think of together.
There is a lot of testosterone on this set. You gotta sort of be loud and tough to hold your own.
I think between the takes we were having a laugh off, laugh fest, and I think I really enjoyed the actual experience of that.
It's 2 professional comedians drilling right on top, baby. Yeah!
You know, it's a lot of fun.
Just the 4 guys messing around, they've bonded really well.